Hi. Can you see me and hear me now? I have no idea what happened. Can you see me and hear me? I I plugged my phone in. Can see and hear. Great. Back, see and hear you. Ended 20 minutes, 21 minutes in. 21 minutes in. Okay, so somebody tell me what the last thing you heard me say. Hi, Ben. Hi, Al. Sandwich is sacred too. It was the last thing. Great. Okay. Um, okay, good. So yeah, so I'm sorry everybody. I don't know what happened. But we're back on. It seems good. My wireless looks good. I plugged my phone in. I don't know. I closed out everything else going on my phone in case it's happening on my end. Hi, Ben. Um, so I don't know how that'll go, how I'll post the stuff from the beginning. Maybe I'll just skip it. Um, but I was talking about plant medicine, how we want all plants to be free, everything is sacred. This idea of like, here's the spiritual people with the sacred stuff, and this is really special is no. And then um, I started to talk about being a whistleblower, in case you hadn't noticed, in case people are new here. um, and in a way kind of wanting to like just put that as sort of like a warning label, like I'm I hold nothing sacred because I think everything's sacred, including all of our institutions, and the ones that I come from, psychology, medicine, um I mean medicine, um spirituality, non-duality, and healing and wellness. um I call bullshit on all of them, and I'm happily calling out people like Zach Bush, people like Amma, um, because there's no middleman to this stuff, and it's time. It's time to break the walls of what I was talking about before is how the colonizers, right, the vampiric entities of this planet have colonized it, taken the energy, taken the plants, taken the resources, and then sold it back to us. And Mother Earth and women and the feminine is abundant, is ever flowing. And it's as if, we lived with a an endless freshwater fountain in our backyard, a rivers of fresh water, and then they steal the water. I mean, they literally did this, right? They steal the water, they dam it up, they sell it back. They sell us back a thimbleful of water and expect us to um, be grateful. um, so yeah, so there will be no sacred cows here. I will be blowing the whistle on anybody and everybody who puts themselves as a middleman between us and our freedom, us and living from natural law, and that's basically every single system. And I personally feel our, the spiritual healing psychology fields, those that are pro-human, pro-earth, pro-life, right? Because it's basically a death cult. It's basically a cattle farm that we live in, and and so my fields are the best contenders for promoting life and a return to natural law. But I keep finding that these people are actually blocking that, putting themselves in between. So this whole enterprise is meant to break down those walls, break down the paywalls, give it all away for free. And then my interest is in doing that with everything. So there's nobody I won't trash. um, okay, so what I wanted to do, still hearing me okay, I'm assuming, um, is talk about what healing is, um, and then what fulfillment is, and on like that. Okay, so Randolph uh, wrote me about what we're doing here. And I just had to read what you wrote, Randolph, and I'm going to read the poem later. But Randolph wrote, the story of the miraculous healings, like the story in John 5 of the crippled man whom Jesus healed by commanding him to walk, are describing a process of healing that is our natural birthright, a process opaquely conveyed in a convoluted game of telephone, polluted by patriarchy. Jesus didn't heal anyone. He did just what you are doing when you ask us what would happen if you didn't believe that story you've been telling yourself forever. Exactly. Jesus didn't heal anyone. It is your birthright. All Jesus did is just pointing out, look, you can walk on water. Look, you can do whatever you want. Good, thank you. There's a great quote from Paul Hederman, a non-dual guy. He says, I'm just a man standing in the river with you, selling you the water. And we don't have to sell it, right? We could just give it all away. So that's it. Jesus, I'm glad you brought up Jesus. If I use the term of a radio, right? We're just radios channeling. We're opening up our antenna. And so Jesus's radio antenna was really open. And then he was just channeling God the Father, right? It was just coming through. Goddess the Mother, who is his mother, right? Or our mother. So God, Goddess, whatever one you want. Or nature or source or whatever word. And so we wouldn't, and so Jesus was like, hey, I and my Father are one, you are the light, I am the light. It's basically like, look, you can just extend your antenna. He's not special because his antenna was extended, right? And I'm not special because my antenna is kind of extended, right? I'm just helping you extend your own, and we each have to do that for ourselves. And how are we extending our antenna? We're waking up, right? We're seeing that our story isn't true about us being limited, us being bad, us being worthless, us being unlovable, opening those veils. Who would you be without that story? And then we're seeing through it from pure awareness, seeing through that. That's the first part of healing. And then we're feeling through it in the body, right? So that block in the heart where unworthiness was stored is opened through the body. And now that inner eye, the third eye, the first eye, pure consciousness, sees and feels through the body. And it sees clearly without those veils. And that's just like the antenna being extended, right? Now I can channel, nature can channel God more fluidly. God, you're always channeling God. It's always all God, but it's a rougher road. God has to smack you around, and I'm just going to use the term God, right? Source, life. I like the word life a lot. Life's going to bash you around. It's going to hit the trouble in your life, right? Where I betrayed myself and then got betrayed. It was me still believing they know more than me. And life was going to bash at that until I healed it, until I saw through that delusion and healed through it. And now that's one more antenna extended, right? But there's no specialness. And I'm not healing you. I'm just pointing out where that antenna is bunched up and could use your attention to extend it and open it, right? So we have a lot of ideas of what healing is. In psychology, we think it's emotional processing and like understanding our past and family dynamics and family systems work. Or I had somebody message me about like I have all these negative thoughts and I want to have positive thoughts. But positive thoughts are it's just the idea, right, that I should have positive thoughts, that there's something wrong with me. And also that I am just my thoughts. So I can just switch thoughts. And this is most of like cognitive psychology, right? And they have like narrative psychology and all these different things. We're just switching around conditioning. We haven't seen through conditioning. So positive thought is just on the other side of the coin. So, so many psychologists and so many therapists and stuff promote forgiveness practice, gratitude practice, positive thinking, positive psychology. And it's just as problematic, and it may be more so, because it's putting like another veil over what is actually like the negative thought is just closer to the pain. negative, none of it has to do with thoughts in a way. Our being is so simple that we're digital in a sense. We move towards something or away from something. That's it. And our negative thoughts are going to be like, I mean, I don't know this person's negative thoughts, but well, let's somebody give me your negative thoughts. Give me those thoughts that you think are so bad. What's one of them that's haunting you, and that maybe you think I should have a positive thought here? Because my point is, what we want to know is stripped of all thought, stripped of positive, stripped of trying to get your mind to change, right? It just, because here's the mind, just you know, just that it's a frequency, it's the conditioning frequency, it's this fear frequency, right, coming across your radio waves. And what you pure awareness want to do is look right at it and question it, right? So the positive thoughts, why they're worst, is the negative thoughts you can actually work with and question. The positive thoughts hide out when really it's a negative thought underneath. Really, it's this fear, and it's cloaked in something positive. So it's just got more. It's like hiding better. So all that positive psychology, all that trying to be grateful, trying to have compassion, trying is, as Charles Bukowski wrote on his gravestone, don't try. Trying is a resistance, that separation again from the moment, from your pure being and whatever he or she or they want to do. And that is going to be negative insofar as the body moves away from that which it doesn't like. It's a no, and it moves toward that which is a yes. That's that which it likes. Okay, great. Big fear I will forever be alone. Okay, great. Great. I'm going to work through that then. So if we strip us of the thoughts, now we just have, does the body is attracted or averse to this? That's literally all we're left with. Right? And so now if we put a positive thought on something, then we've got another layer. And all of that, all of like being positive, being forgiving, being compassionate is usually unworthiness, unlovable, I'll be alone, I'm separate, I don't belong, and I'm trying to be a good person. I'm trying to be something. And then that will get me to be good enough, will get me approved of, seen in their eyes, and therefore safe. And it's a convoluted mess. Meantime, the being just wanted to like have a nap, right? The being didn't actually even want to be in this conversation. The being doesn't like this person at all, right? So psychology, we got to strip all this stuff away and come into the body to find out what's true. So, and then, the other things people think healing is like shifting your chemistry, taking a pill, or taking plant medicine, or enlightenment, right? Which just goes back to this special thing. Like, I'm going to have this big download and everything's going to be cured. And it's like, you might get an insight, but you still have that fear that I'm going to forever be alone. So, okay, your oneness. Great. Great. When that shit gets triggered, does that piece in your heart know its oneness? It doesn't yet, right? Each block in our system, each fear has to be reintroduced to God, reintroduced to oneness, reintroduced to the reality that it's not real. So healing is not enlightenment or awakening or of like special spiritual access. And it's not processing, and it's not positive thinking, and it's not forgiveness, and it is you, pure awareness, realizing directly this isn't real, this veil of thought, and the feeling of separation isn't true either, that there is a sense of the connectedness. So it's seeing and feeling your wholeness. That's what healing is. And I'll talk about fulfillment later. Hi, David. Okay, I'm Randolph. I want to get to your fear. Let me read what Healing with Words says. Everything you talk about makes me sigh in relief. So many spiritual movements and others have made it feel so complicated that you feel you are chasing your tail all the time. Yes, with what you were talking about, I just stop and be. Exactly. Exactly. It's this convoluted thing. I swear to God, this comes from like, it comes from the overlords who who have enslaved us and then said we have to earn, we have to earn the favor of an enslaver, right? So we have these Abrahamic religion histories, right? That you do your penance and you do you have to be pious and you have follow the 10 commandments or whatever the fuck. And then that has been spilled over as people leave Christianity, they leave other religions, and then they move into spirituality. They take that sort of suffering, work hard, effort, prove to the big man in the sky, but now it's the shaman in Costa Rica, right? Prove that I'm worthy. That's unworthiness going to Costa Rica. That's unlovable. That's aloneness. That's that. And it's this and then because you haven't seen through that, you haven't seen the fact that you're not alone. You haven't seen that unworthiness is insanity as an idea. You haven't seen through that and you haven't felt through it. You're on the hamster wheel of this and then it just gets ever more convoluted, right? You got to talk to that shaman and do that ayahuasca ceremony, and that guy, that's going to make all the difference. And you got to up your psilocybin dosage or whatever it is, right? Or prostrate yourself or meditate more, or whatever it is. And it's all like, it's basically pound of flesh, right? It's basically Opus Dei fucking whipping ourselves. um, this is the programming, and this is what I was going to talk about. We'll talk more about it later, but this is the sort of program here in the enslavement world, right? It's like a enslavement planet. Um, and I mean planet, like I'm not talking about whether the Earth is flat or anything. I'm talking about planet, PLANIT. That we have a planet here, and it's been planned for us to be kept kept enclosed and not know who we are, and feel limited, and to look for favor to an authority, and then just like a slave master, right? So we they deem whether we're good, they deem somebody outside ourselves deems whether we're worthy of God. um so we have to free ourselves, and this is the ultimate freedom, is realizing all of this is nonsense. There's no distance between me and God. You are God. um and realizing that directly, nobody can sell you on this shit anymore. Why the fuck would I do a fucking I got a real potty mouth, but you all seem fine with it. um um it's not about it. It's just sometimes that's the right word, right? So why would I do, like where am I going? What are we doing? um I think it's like white guilt and the habit of sacrifice perpetuating this stuff. So reintroduce, great descriptor of the process. Yeah, it's a reintroduction program. I used to say, like, with healing, and I say this now, right? Like when you're meeting a piece inside of your body, um, it's almost like saying, "Oh, hi, hi, a little hurt one, little scared one," you know. And I don't go into stories much here, but it's like the tenderness of it. It's like, "Hi, have you met God?" "Oh, hi, oneness. Have you met?" It's like just reintroducing each other. Like, oh, I forgot. I'm totally held in love and light. I am God herself. There's no separation. I get it. I see it. I feel it. Thanks for the reminder. Oh no, wait a minute. I forgot. No problem. Let's reintroduce again. Here, look, that piece in your kidney, that piece in your back shoulder, um, is you aren't the only potty mouth in this restroom. Okay, good. Keeping it fucking real. Exactly. Thank you. Thanks for the affirmation. Um, yeah, exactly. So it's a reintroduction, right? We again, when we were babies, it was just emerged, and then the story of separation. Okay, so that's what we're going to say about the planet, is that the story is, if you if you're an enslaver, you're gonna tell everybody this is all there is, and this is the only option for you. Um, you know, you work for me, your energy and your resources for me, and life is hard. Life is meant to be hard. So that's what I was gonna say about white people and spiritual practice. It's like they're perpetuating the colonizer story. of life is hard. Suffering is what gets you to heaven. Sacrifice is what gets you to heaven. And then they just do it in the Native American church or whatever. And it's actually, it just makes me, oh, that Native American church ceremony that I was in just broke my heart, because I am not confident that the indigenous people running that thing, the native folks, uh would have enjoyed. It's like it's stripped it of its enjoyment, right? It just becomes just like anything else, a penance, a thing you have to pay to get into heaven. You don't have to pay to get into heaven. The queendom of heaven is at hand, as I like to say. It's here now. Um, so yeah, so every single practice has that liability built into it, that it implies that there's a separate self getting somewhere, that it's not here now, and then you're supposed to get it right, and like it's the ladder that Vosby was talking about, right? There's a ladder into your acceptance, your love, your whatever it is the story is that you're missing, right? But the overall planet story is one of life is hard, right? The Buddha said this, life is suffering. I'm like, no, this is what I mean. I'm going to throw them all under the bus. No, no, life, the people who plan this shit, yes, yes, they made it so that life is suffering because we have to earn our keep here. But life with a capital L is not suffering. Life is fulfillment. Life is moves you, every single animal moves toward its fulfillment. Every single plant moves toward its fulfillment. There is no being that wouldn't move toward its fulfillment if they didn't believe that life was suffering and hard. Right? Hi, Darian. So we're waking up from mass psychosis. The mass psychosis of life is hard. The mass psychosis of survival of the fittest. Don't get me fucking started. So the story of separation and then competition. No, no. In the masculine side of the species, there are dominance hierarchies, but they don't kill for sport. And we are in, we can't reference the past in our species in a lot of ways because we just don't know what it is to live free. But that's what I do for a living. I've helped people get free, and I watch how every single human, I've studied humans, and all I've been interested in is humans. Like I said, I just want real conversations about humans and about who we are and what this place is since I was a child. We move toward fulfillment naturally. Watch any baby, they move toward fulfillment. Watch any animal, they move toward fulfillment. It's not hard to spot. So, okay, so let's go into Randolph, your fear. I mean, welcome to the club, right? This is everybody's fear. Okay. I will forever be alone. And then watch, right? Watch how I'll forever be alone. This lurking fear from whenever, when you were 4, when you were 6, when you were 7, reinforced a million times in different ways, um, is lurking in the background and getting you into relationships, right? Leaving your body alone to go connect with somebody in order to not be alone. So it's a funny, ironic thing that the very fear of being alone is what gets you to leave yourself, gets you to abandon yourself. So we go out and we search, right? And then we're compromising the body, we're compromising everything we want in order to try to connect to not be alone. Also, as if that person has anything for you. They don't have love for you. It isn't located there. It's located everywhere. Tony Parsons, this non-dual teacher, says, you think you're looking for something, but really you're looking for everything. That's good stuff. Yes. Okay, so let's go to aloneness, right? So I'll be alone forever. And so we're looking to not be alone. We're looking for love, right? I'm unlovable. I'll be alone. So I go look over here. And then we're missing the everythingness. So let's go back to the awareness that sees the thought, right? So here's awareness telling us, the same consciousness. I have this thought, I'm afraid I'll be alone. So, and this is the number one fear, right? So abandonment, being alone, whatever. And it's also, you said, forever be alone, so it means you must feel alone now. So there's the thought. Let me ask you. I'm going to ask everybody who has that feeling or fear. Where is the grip in your body? Where does that grip? I don't have this fear anymore, so I can't quite do it. Although I still feel a little something in my throat. So let's just find it all together. So that spot is who you need to not leave alone. That spot needs to realize, here comes awareness, here comes loving awareness, coming in and hugging this spot that feels alone. It then senses oneness through you, oneness, and it confirms for itself. So we're going to do that, but so start to just feel that, start to feel into that spot. What we can also do is look at awareness itself. So here's awareness, what's looking out of your eyes, and what is feeling that spot. Look and see how big that is. Is it all inclusive? Is that which looks at the thought that says I'm afraid of being alone, is that all inclusive? Can anything split off from pure awareness is really the question. And Randolph, I'll ask you to answer it. Because ultimately I'm saying, can you include, this is going to include the body, but can awareness itself be alone? Can awareness itself split off from itself? And then we have this spot in the body that feels alone. And if we bring the awareness there and it opens up, it can look around inside yourself, right? Inside the throat, inside the heart. Where's the aloneness? I want you to try to find aloneness. It's a story. It's a story of separation we've inherited. But that's not your direct experience. It's not your direct experience when you go into the body and sense through the heart or wherever it's stored. What do you actually sense? Do you actually sense aloneness? Do you sense a separation? You're letting go of the thought for a moment and you're going right into the sensation. If you go in and through the sensation, where's the separation? Somebody let me know how you're doing. Oh, I hope I didn't freeze again. How outdoorsy. Okay, I'm tracking. The awareness embraces the constricting energy of aloneness in my head and throat. Okay, great. Okay. Now, take awareness, that which is looking, and feel through the head and the throat, right? So here's what's looking. It's this vast, endless consciousness. You're not going to find an end to it. And then it feels like the body's alone because it's running this program and it kind of like pulls itself, right? It has this constricted feeling that feels like separation. But it's just like a little kid going like this. And then you're like looking at the kid and they're not hiding. They're not actually separate. They're in the room. So now we're just, so then the kid, and it's like, I see you. You're not separate. I'm right here. And we have to do this with each part, right? Let the kid unfold. So the kid comes out of hiding and then you're embracing. And they're not alone. They're not alone. They never were alone, but you have to sense it. You have to sense it. Where is aloneness as you sense through your throat and your head? You have to keep going up into a story. So don't go into your story about it, because aloneness is a story. There's nothing more than a story. Nothing has ever been separate. Where would one go to be alone? This is why the spiritual people make me crazy too, where they're going their retreats or they have their sanctuary. I'm like, where are you? Like, what are we doing? Where are you going? Sanctuary from what? I know what it is. It's that it's you know, non-wealthy people. Oh, that's so lovely. Oh. Yes, isn't it? It's so lovely. It's it's the very thing I'm alone. It's the very thing that wounded kid was looking for in someone else. It can never get it in someone else. There isn't a someone else. I mean, there's other beautiful, unique forms, and we call them by different names, and that's amazing. But it's just you looking back at you. And so until you come in here and look and cuddle with yourself and feel how lovely that is, love yourself completely. That one in your mirror is going to be tricky. She, he, they're all going to reflect funky stuff back to you. But here we are rediscovering ourselves, reintroducing God. You are God into yourself. It feels like a good time to read that poem you sent, Randolph. But keep going. Everybody keep exploring this. Where would aloneness be when you take that awareness and feel through that spot that feels alone? You have to go into a story. You have to go into time. Right? It's a story of time. It's a story of me in a future where I'm alone on my deathbed or whatever, right? I'll be alone forever. It's like, it's such a funny story. You've never been alone. How you were, it was always just a pretend kid hiding. Yeah. Oh yeah, let me read. It is so lovely. So keep going. I mean, I'm sure it just feels good. But Randolph sent me this beautiful poem from Teresa of Avila. He didn't know that I'm a big fan of Teresa of Avila. She looks like Mary here, but this is actually Teresa, one of my many influences over here. I don't know much about these entities. I don't read much, as I've mentioned, but I wanted to show you my Teresa of Avila, my Saint Francis, who I gave dreadlocks to. I call her Frankie. She's gender fluid, I learned. So she'll go by he, she, or they. I gave her some more melanation and dreadlocks. And like Saint Francis, and then Mother Kali, of course, my main influence in some ways. Chop their heads off, and then they lay at your feet. And this is literally what we're doing. We're chopping the head off. We chop the head, the thought right off. And then we melt like Shiva at her feet. We melt Shiva, the masculine, the divine masculine, laying at her feet after she chops the head off of patriarchy. And she has all these bones around her neck of all the heads she's chopped off. Chop that head off, and now we're just cuddling. You're just cuddling with yourself. You and God are here with no story of your separation. Your mom's favorite saint? Totally. He's the best. Yeah. Yeah. I like his outfit, everything about him. He's my favorite. And he's, the patron saint of the poor, of the oppressed. And so, who else are you going to be who else are we working for here? And then, of course, is all of us. We all are oppressed. We all are enslaved, and we all need freedom. So, okay, let me read the Teresa of Avila quote. I just want to show you my influences. Show and tell moment. Love Kali's Murti. I don't know what Murti is. Tell me that. I'm so glad, though, Vasvi. Okay, so Teresa of Avila says, no one can hear God unless God has prepared a bed for you. 1,000 souls hear God's call every second, but most everyone then looks into their life's mirror, says, I am not worthy to leave this sadness, right? I'm not worthy. I'm afraid of being alone. I didn't do enough to not be alone. Yeah, unworthiness, right? And we're going to be worthy in the eyes of an authority somewhere. We project that onto God, but God is you, and you don't wait for worthiness. You just go right in like it's a burning building and touch that throat and that head and show them love. I'm not worthy to leave this sadness. When I first heard God's courting song, I too looked at all I had done in my life and said, how can I gaze into God's omnipresent eyes? I spoke those words with all my heart. But then God sang again, a song even sweeter. And when I tried to shame myself once more from God's presence, God showed me God's compassion and spoke a divine truth. I made you, dear, and all I make is perfect. Please come close, for I desire you. That's what we're doing. Here's that tension in your neck and your throat. God, you, pure awareness, oneness, life. Please come closer, darling. Right? When you were 1 year old and you had pain in your throat, you would have gone right in and maybe cried out that you needed help. And then there would have been more attention. But we lost it. We lost that parenting. We lost that closeness, that lover relationship with ourselves. You are your main lover. You are the love of your life. You are, and this body is your favorite. You as God, you chose the perfect being for yourself. They're just your favorite. They're your love. They're your love. Now for the masculine, the feminine is like, oh, and can be in a way you love them more. But we have to start here. We have to start. It's not more. It's like it's your devotion. Your devotion is to the feminine. That's the right alignment. But the intimacy inside of yourself is just as necessary as it is with feminines. You have to be in love with your body, and one could say the body is the feminine, and this oneness consciousness, the formlessness that you are. The formlessness falls in love with form. The masculine meets the feminine. The lovers meet inside of each of us. And then when you've done that here, you get the same in your mirror. You get other people like me, like here we are, people who love themselves, who are healing themselves, who are whole, who realize God through their body and are intimate and in love with themselves. I can't tolerate. I have some friends who are still self-deprecating. I can't even bear it. I can't bear them saying something like that to me anymore because I'm too in love with myself now. It's an ongoing thing, but it's like I can't, like they say that to me and all I see is beauty. All I see is their divinity. All I see is like they're the most brilliant, amazing person ever. And I can't, it's like I can't bear it. You can't say that about you. um because it's just like this poem. When I was no longer lonely, when I found my love, I found my love. Exactly. 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 That's how the mirror works, right? Here's intimacy and inner love and not leaving yourself alone and deep peace inside. And then life just will amplify it. It'll just be amplified in your mirror. And that's what any relationship, it doesn't matter if it's romantic or otherwise, that all relationships are meant to amplify the already loud bell of someone in love with themselves. And then, oh my God, the explosion and the divinity in that relationship is amazing. But until that you fill your own cup, right? You pure awareness filling the cup of the body. What you're looking for is some of their cup, and there is an extraction process going on for both of you. And you're both going into a story. It's a story of I'm alone, a story of unworthiness, and then, for the feminine, it's often, well, when I'm married and I have kids, then I'm worthy, right? That's because that's what I'm for. And the masculine, it's like I'll be lovable, right? I'm unlovable, and a woman's love, or whatever. We have all these stories, right, that get us. Then we link up in the story, and both people are abandoning themselves. And then we're running a story, and nobody's fulfilled. Nobody's cup's full. and they can't fill your cup because they're not in your body. They're not, right? Their job is to be inside their own cup. But oh my gosh, like David's saying, when your cup is filled, when you've filled your own cup and you come together, it's a fucking fountain of energy. It's this amplified field that is amazing. I am tracking pretty much lost ability to type while I weep. Okay, great. Just weep and let that right, because this is just a release, and it comes out through tears, it comes out through movement, it comes out in all the ways that it comes out. So just let that happen, and I'll cry with you. It looks like. So this is it, though. It's this. All I make is perfect. Please come close, for I desire you. And here's the thing, you desire you the most. You are just pure gold. And I'm sorry to all of us, I'm just sorry. I'm sorry we felt we were unlovable, unworthy, alone, that we had to earn anything. This is such insanity. It's such insanity. And it's time to end it. And we each just end it just like this. So, listen, I got a napkin today. I'm prepared today. I knew it was going to happen. Okay, what's next? So this is this natural movement. It's a natural movement when it's like, so again, we're such simple creatures. Here's awareness. Randolph, you noticed that your head and throat hurt, right? If we were children again, we didn't have a story in time, our energy would just go right into the throat and the head, right? We just give it attention. Pain is saying, hey, pay attention here. A block, a twist in the body, a punch in the gut is the invitation for awareness to come. But nobody came when we were young, and in fact, we were taught, just suck it up, deal with it. No, it's okay. You shouldn't be crying. You shouldn't, whatever. All the stories that got us to not move through and open that floodgate that would bring tears or anything else, and especially you men. And boys. So our trouble, and this is why I was redefining healing and stuff for us, because our trouble is in going into time and then thinking we're going to process the emotion. And remember that the emotion, which I talked about yesterday, is there's a feeling first, right? Which is like the impact, the shock, and the pain of somebody saying something hurtful that you leave your body. That initial shock, and no matter how deep it is, right? If you have complex trauma, if you've been tortured, if you've been physically abused, in the end, there was just, just as I'm saying this, knowing the hell of living with complex trauma, and all of us have trauma, but the trouble is not in that impact. That there's only so much pain a body goes through. The trouble is in the storyline, and the storyline of I'll be alone forever, right? And so when we feel through the initial impact, finally, wherever it is in the body, that story doesn't have anything to stick to anymore, and we see through the story, right, that we aren't even alone. But it was the story in time, the story of you as a separate self initially, that was the trouble, right? Somebody said something to you that overrode your natural movement, and that story wasn't true. I don't care what the story is. I don't care what it is. And I don't care what you did. That story wasn't true. And that story is in time, right? It's a story of a self outside of time, outside of the moment, right? So it's like you want spaghetti for dinner, mom's making you eat a salad. So sounds innocent enough, except this body, when swallowing the salad, literally feels sick. And now you have a pit in your stomach every time you eat a salad, and for the rest of your life, because you have a story, and then you have a story that I'm not good and I should want to eat salads, and a million other things. So that was a story in time that wasn't true. What was true was that belly and that body wanted something different than the family was having. And That is sanity, is feeding that kid the spaghetti or whatever they want. And, you know, think of how many thousands, if not millions of times we contorted ourselves, we constricted our throat, we constricted our head, we constricted our belly, and not expressing what it wanted, and not throwing that food up that you didn't want, and which is to say, throw out that energy that was toxic, right? So we so our trouble remains not in the pain, not in that block in the throat, not in the heartbreak, not in the gut punch, not in searing pain even. I've had people with searing pain from deep trauma and chronic pain. And the story about it was always 100 times worse. What is that Rumi quote? If you desire healing, let yourself fall ill. No, it's not quite it, right? But there is something about the sort of falling ill, falling into it, going into where it hurts the most, where that sickness, where that pain is. So I'm glad you're having the experience of a release. Everybody who's still with me? Oh, this is what I was going to say about this. My example for this is, let's say a kid has or like you have a broken leg. Somebody has a broken leg. And so you come upon somebody who just broke their leg. You do not ask about the story of the broken leg and how they got there and they shouldn't have climbed the tree. You just go right in and you treat the leg. And that's what that's what we do now. We don't need the analysis. We don't need the psychology. We don't need your story. I am so sorry about what you lived through. I am so sorry for the reality in that story, that the reality that you were taught these things. It doesn't make what you were taught true, though. And I'm not going to collude with your parents or your school teachers or whoever, the society's crazy stories about you or about anything or about that pain in your system. I'm going to go help you treat your own leg, your own broken leg. Right? I can't do that for you. You just go right in like it's a burning building, like you're taking that broken leg and you're going right into the hospital, and the hospital is you. You, pure attention, pure awareness. Randall says, so this is incredibly vast, deep need to connect with another is a story I can embrace. It's this yes, it's a very innocent story from a very wounded kid. But you're not really embracing the story. You're seeing through the story. So you need to connect with another. So this idea that you're alone and you need to connect with another. Is that true? First of all, you've been moving through this. Are you alone? Are and are you alone, and is there an other in your direct experience and what you're exploring right now? Right? So we're exploring storylessness. In your direct experience, where's the other that you're going to go connect with? Where's your aloneness as you move through your throat and your head? Hi, Timothy. I need to connect, right? That implies I'm not connected. That implies aloneness. I need to connect. 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 Connect to that. You're not connecting to the story. You're connecting to where is it in the body. You're seeing through the story. Go connect right where that is. Is it in your throat? Is it in your head? Could be all over. That's you connecting to you. You're going to plug into you. You, source, are plugging in that part of your body. I was going to say this earlier, like when we were born, the hand of God, us, pure awareness, was inside our body. And she, he, it, you were puppeteering it. And then we get told something like, you're doing it wrong, bad girl, bad boy. And we start to separate. And the hand of society of conditioning starts to take over and puppeteer us. Right. And so here's this story right in between here. I need to connect. I'm alone. And I'm saying, take the hand of God, pure awareness, feel through that area of your body. Can you see that your story of aloneness, of connection, of badness, of you're separate and now you got to earn your way back? When you're fully in your being, right, which again is how we were born, we're just looking out as awareness from inside the body, deep inside the body. Feel it, feel it. Is there anything you're not connected to? Feel through your body. Is your throat connected to your chest? Is the throat, if you feel through the skin, is it connected to the air? Where's the separation in your direct experience? Feeling through your head. Feel all the way through the back of your head. Feel through the top of your head. Let awareness wander through the whole body. Where is it separate? Where does that inner eye, what isn't inside that inner eye? What isn't of it? That inner eye is inside of everything. It's inside your whole body and it's inside of everything. What would it ever be separate from? Is it separate from your throat? Feel it. Here's awareness. Feel through your throat. Where's the separation? Where's the wall? Where is it? Here's awareness, feeling it through your head. Feel through the back of your head, feel through the front. Where's the wall? Where's the separation? Where did this body get separate from the air in the room? Awareness is not feeling. That which is feeling, that which is seeing and feeling, the inner eye, it is not feeling separation. Separation is a story. I need to connect is a story. You can't not, you never were disconnected, is the rediscovery. So we're not really embracing the story. We're embracing feeling through, being tender with, cuddling with the part that feels separate, that says, I want to connect. I want to connect. Great. You connect with it. It's not out there. There's no out there. Tell me how that's feeling. And anybody else who's been sort of doing this with us, right? What we're doing is we're taking this pure oneness awareness and we're confirming through it, oh, there isn't such a thing as aloneness. It's a storyline in time. There's no such thing as time. This isn't real. Your storylines aren't real. Disconnection, separation, aloneness, unworthiness. The fuck? Is the plant not worthy? Is the squirrel not worthy? Again, enslavement planet, story of worth. You're only worthy if you're a productive cattle, right? Or if you're pious to God. Story, crazy, inherent worth. And according to you, what's worthy, what's valuable to you? Not somebody else's version of it. We are rich. We are beyond rich. We have everything we need times a million. So I want to know how you're feeling. Can you feel the fluidity? Can you feel where you're going to find that disconnect when you move through where the body feels separate and you're not running the story of, right? Story in time. A story is in time. It's not real. It's not real. It's an illusion. It's a delusion. It's not real. The story of disconnection, the story of I need love, the story of unlovable, these are all puppeteering stories so that they can take our energy and we can rewild ourselves right now. Oh my God, we were never separate. And then other people, like here we are, other people, seemingly, just different faces of God. We connect. We're not connecting because, I feel disconnected over here. We're just having fun together. So Randolph, tell me how it's going. Or anybody else, feel free to share. Let me know if I lost you. So the staged play, right, is life is hard, divide and conquer, tell a story of separation, survival of the fittest, everybody's competing, um, keeps us fighting, keeps us with bread and circus, keeps us wanting to connect. Instead of discovering, oh my God, I never was fucking disconnected, and life doesn't want me to do this job, it wants me to do this. And life doesn't actually want to talk to that friend that wasn't really a friend, it wants to hang up the phone. And it just starts to honor itself through you. I wanted to read my, so, you know, I'm trashing therapy, trashing enlightenment and spirituality. Um, and what I call myself now is generally a fulfillment advisor. And as I've been saying, fulfillment is natural law. And if, for those who don't know, I redefined fulfillment for humans. um, I say it's the peaceful realization of our everlasting nature as oneness or goddess itself, alongside the embodiment and expression of our unique passions, joys, interests, and social purposes. That's all the natural process. It's a natural thing. That's what a body does. It expresses its passions, its joys, its interests, its social purposes. It moves into purpose, it moves into fulfillment. And we're realizing every part is realizing itself as oneness, as that that connectedness, that pure connectedness itself. And then the body can't help but move into its fulfillment, right? And this is where we have to try. It's like fear says, I need to connect, so I'm going to be a good boy to do this thing to connect. And it it doesn't, right? It just feels empty because it's all coming from an illusion and it's all in a story, and you're completely abandoning the very body that doesn't feel connected. So when we're finally going in for the healing, now we actually feel the connection that's always been here, never ever went away. Okay, good. So very much appreciate this effort to guide me. The story is so real. My desperate need to connect, screaming and watching what's really happening. Yes. So this totally happens. I'm glad this is happening. When we get, it's like it's so these stories and these grips and these, it's like an entity. You know, I don't mind the old stories of like demon possession because what I like about it is that it's shared. It's like all these demons, you know. And I like that a demon is like a daemon, right? It's like a bug in the system. It's a virus, and it is. It's this energetic grid we're all on. And so this story of I'm alone and I desperately need to connect, especially for the masculine, is screaming, and it is what's happening is that you are looking at it. It's like looking at the monster dead in its eye, right? Right at the fear, and it's in the death throes. So this happens. So it's screaming, no, I need to connect. I need to connect. I need to connect. I need to connect. This is this little boy screaming. It's a tantrum. It's fine. It can do that. I still want you to go to the body, right? The child is tantruming and screaming, I hate you. I fucking hate you. Ah, this is true. And you go and hug him. You hug him. You hold him. You go to the physical. You don't leave him hanging. So go right into where in the body is that scream coming from? What needs to be held? What needs to be just held and shown the connection, right? This is our beliefs, these old ones, these like I'm alone, I need to connect, I'm unworthy, there's something fundamentally wrong with me, life is hard, da da da. I have a friend she won't give up the life is hard, man. She just is sure it is. And that's where her salvation is, right? She just keeps working harder, and boy do I know it. But in it, so it's screaming, it's in the death throes, and she won't talk to me. She's just holding on to that story. Okay, you know, but it's just a story. And on our whole world right now, these stories are in the death throes. All of the stories, the insane stories, the backwardness, the insanity of our world is dying, and it's in the death throes. Capitalism and the death throes, all of it. So to be expected, to be expected. You're onto something. When it's screaming, you know you're close, right? You're right on the wound. It's like, ow, ow, ow. And it's like screaming. Because what fear is doing is trying to protect the body. It's trying to protect the body from aloneness. But it doesn't, the story will never know that this body, this being has never been alone. Only you, pure awareness, can go show the body, you're not alone, sweetheart. I'm right here. I'm always been right here. In fact, I'm already holding you. In fact, you're already in the most enormous soft lap you could ever want to be in. You are in the lap of Sophia. You are currently in the lap of loving attention, the softest, cuddliest lap that you, awareness, are. She is already holding you. And the body, this little 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, all he needs to do, his throat, is just soften into her, let himself feel being held by her with a capital H. That is you. You are her. You are the divine womb. You are the divine mother holding yourself. Hi, Annette, Francis, Barbara, Carp, right? Just so it's screaming. It gets to scream. The mother, the soft mother of you, the pure awareness, pure, endless awareness, just embracing that throat, embracing wherever is screaming, showing him that she is here. And your throat can melt into her. Osvi says, you know what's so funny is that for the last half hour I've been meeting visceral pain listening to you, and my attention went to the mind for a little bit, and the stories I swore by half an hour ago had already exited. Yeah, it's like that's what the death throw does. It comes around, and it's like, oh no, I don't believe those anywhere. And it's like, wait a minute, we're gonna scream and kind of whip back around. The soft holding is happening. Okay, good. Pure awareness, you, what's looking at me, what's listening to my voice, what's watching, is soft, endless love. That's you. You are soft, endless love. You're looking at yourself. It is soft. It is completely and utterly loving of what's happening. It doesn't discriminate. Pure awareness, you don't discriminate. The mind can scream. This can be in so much pain. And just like the most unconditional mother, because that's what awareness is, that's who you are. It just wraps around the soft holding, just right where you need it, right where you need it. And P.S., it's an ocean of you. It's an ocean of soft. It's like pure awareness, right? It's got all the qualities in it. My meditations on Insight Timer have different element meditations and the masculine and the feminine. I'm going to do this on Thursday where we'll do more healing where awareness has everything in it because it's pure source. So does that wound need soft feminine energy? That's it. You're it. And it has this beautiful softness to it. For me, the softness is, I'm good with that, but I've needed the fierceness. I've needed this masculine, like going into a burning building kind of thing. Like, you're okay, kid. but I'm very certain 100% of masculines need this softness. I mean, we all need it. We all need it. So feeling like it's like an endless, soft, comforter, billowy bed, right? Soft, billowy, pillowy bed with lush everything. And you can just cuddle up for the rest of your life and the rest of eternity, right? It's not a temporary thing. You don't just like have a cuddle with a woman. It's like, you, pure awareness, that which is touching into your throat, are this endless, billowy, soft, cushiony bed. You are where you land. So let that throat land in you, like landing and floating in clouds in pillowy, soft bed that you get to always, and look how it's always here. It's gentle, it's soft, it's loving. That's you. That's you. Absolutely, David says. Yeah. I like that, cutting up for an eternity. Yeah. Yes, because where is this, we have time, right? So So we go, well, okay, I found it now, but I need to go back and listen to that and find it again. And it's like, no, that's eternally you. You are eternally this pure consciousness, this attention. And that has every quality in it because it's pure source. And like, again, here's the baby, right? And it's the same awareness looking out of the baby's eyes. And the baby wants to just rock in its crib, right? That would be awareness rocking with it. That would be you and God rocking back and forth, just having a cuddle. And the baby relishes in it, right? The baby's like, oh, me and God. Again, there's no split. Not then anymore. Or then not then. And then we pretend there's a split, and then we kind of rediscover ourselves, right? It's a return to wholeness, but we never really left. So the baby knows something. The baby's just having a time. You are the that which is holding the baby, the consciousness and the endless crib and the baby itself, and you are always with you. This pure, soft awareness, constantly watching, just like a mother, attentive, so close, so right here, so inside your body, so right, just as close as she could be. She's always been here. And when this body goes, she'll still be here with whatever's next. Fuck, I was doing the exact same movement, including the hand positions just now. Yes. It goes like that, right? Because it's we create a field here. It's very real field. And it's a healing field. We're in a healing field. All healing this stuff. And I mean, I've sensed Randolph's talking about it. It definitely feels like a throat thing to me. So Randolph, I want you to feel, and I want all of us to feel pure awareness. That which is looking is an endless, soft witness. And just like a mother who is unconditionally there for her child, and physically you can feel her, right? When you put awareness in your throat, it feels better because it's actually a soft cushion. It's actually healing. It actually is. It's physical. It's a formless witness, but it affects form in this physical way, in a very real way. It has qualities to it. So tell me how that's going. I'm done with my spiels, I think. And this is beautiful that we moved into healing today. And hey, Randolph and I are going to be back tomorrow with a continued session. So this is perfect. This is just perfect. But I do want to see where you're at now. Thank you, Al. Love you too. Feel the eternal cuddle puddle. This is it. It's an eternal cuddle puddle. That's what we're in. That's exactly it. Exactly it. Where would the cuddle puddle? Where would this mother of awareness? Where would she go? She's always looking. She's always watching you. She's always loving you. She, as your poem said, Randolph, right? As Teresa says, I made you, dear. You came out, this form came out of formlessness. And this formless, the cuddle puddle. All I make is perfect. Please come close, for I desire you. You desire you. You, the mother, desire you. You want to cuddle with you for eternity, and you are cuddling with you for eternity. You just haven't noticed. We just haven't noticed. We never have come out of a cuddle. We never stopped connecting. We never stopped. We're cuddling. Like the air is cuddling with me right now. And I'm cuddling with myself inside my body. And the chair is cuddling with me. Like, it's not just formlessness, pure awareness cuddling with your form from inside your throat for the first time. It's everything's cuddling with you. Everything is loving you, right? These books are so close. They want to be so close, right? Everything's here. It's going very, very well. I don't have words to express the love. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, great. So then tomorrow, this is going to be great. We'll what's the word? Uh we'll debrief and just move further into any other any fears that were remaining. But humongous healing here. Again, this amplified field, right? We have people willing to embody, to heal, to be together, and this field is so amplified. So, but yeah, good. It's so much love. There's a word, we need new words. It's like that's all it is. Like you are just swimming in love, and you love you so much. You really want to be so close. You want to be especially close with the parts that feel alone, that are in pain. I've said this before, but my friend Johnny says pain is just the parts that don't know their God. And then there's no sweeter thing than those two that aren't two, those lovers, to come back together. Right? It's a reunion, and it's so much love. So much love. So good. So just keep letting you as awareness bathe through the body, and let it just keep unwinding and opening up, and tears and everything else. And it's beautiful. Okay, well, I think that's our time. This is awesome. Sorry again for the cut off in the beginning, but it's okay. Yes, sweetness. Yeah, it's so sweet, right? Yeah. Every every baby is why we love babies, right? They're so sweet. Well, who is it that's sweet? It's pure awareness. It's in love. It's just in love. It's in love with that body. It's in love with the mother. It's in love with its own hands. It's in love with the flowers. It's in love with its food. That was some insane healing for me too. Awesome. Good. I felt it too. So great. Ah, this is so fun. uh, yeah, so much sweetness. And, I mean, Kali is in there too. When we need it, it has every quality in it. It also has fierceness in it. It has everything because it's source. So it's like it's just got everything in it because it is everythingness. Like Tony said, right? You think you're looking for something, you're looking for everything. And everything is here. Feeling the field. Oh, good. Yeah, me too. And you on the recording, you're adding to it. We're all part of this field, and you're part of it too. So excellent. And we'll be back tomorrow. It's Wednesday, so 12 to 1:30, and Randolph and I are going to do a one-on-one chat. So it's just, again, chef's kiss how this all works out. I didn't write it. I'm just showing up in my improv seat. Mostly. It's a little sketch, but it always goes off the rails. It always goes off of any plan I had. All right, y'all. Much, much love to all of you. I love you. I love you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Bye.